Hi everyone, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins. We're back here on Hutchins Hut Productions. So what are we doing on Hutchins Hut Productions today? Well, after doing a little short with my sister that we shared over on her Facebook account, a commercial that we used to watch as kids, you know, that always was a commercial we watched as kids, and boy oh howdy it was. It was the Empire Today commercial. Um, we always had that play on the TV every day or every time we went to our grandparents' house up in Amish country, up in Pennsylvania, that Lancaster. Um, yeah, we're not here just to talk about that and reform you that. We have some announcements to tell you. Yes, you. Um, so we're going over to our friend comic book resources or friend over at comic book resources, and we're going to be talking about Mr. Gunn, Mr. James Gunn. So what's going on with Mr. James Gunn? Well, I'm glad you asked. You came to the right place. 11 years later, James Gunn admits he had zero interest of casting this MCU icon. And no way. James Gunn said he never would have imagined Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy until his audition tricked him into meeting him, and immediately realized he was perfect. Guardians of the Galaxy seems to be an odd fit for the Marvel Universe when it was released back in 2014. But, again, this is when, the film's eclectic ensemble and campy tone, Marvel met with big demise with James Gunn's space opera, and it paid off. It's now time that the studio's dark horses spawn two sequels, crossovers, and a holiday special. And speaking with some friends, he recalls how this movie has came together on the rigorous casting. Finding, Star-Lord was very difficult, and they were getting desperate after 300 failed actor auditions. That's when Chris Pratt came around and he saved the universe. Or at least we say he did. Um, James Gunn also said that Chris Pratt was then also a very heavy guy on Parks and Recreation. The show Parks and Rec. He then walks in with a famous story around saying, I didn't want to see Chris because I'm like, this Joker? No way. And then Chris had been turned down on a lot of things and he didn't want to do that again. So he explained, okay, so he tricked me, but they were desperate, so he needed the job, so he became Star-Lord. And the rest of that is history. Acclaimed actors auditioned to play Star-Lord. Did you guys know that there were other auditions of people who played or auditioned for Star-Lord? Some of those were Adam Brody, Eddie Redmayne, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Joel Edgerton. All of them were in the running, but they didn't quite understand the role like Chris did, and that is why Chris became Star-Lord. He started his audition, as not 12 seconds into the audition, he's like, yeah, he's the one. I know it, I knew it, I knew it. And he's like, yes. Outside of Parks and Rec, he was also famous in Zero Dark 30 and the Lego movie. But Guardians of the Galaxy definitely earned him the most worldwide fame. He landed the Jurassic World trilogy while, also playing Star-Lord simultaneously, for some were released movies and some were blockbusters with the name. And then he reprised Star-Lord again for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which was the standalone. And then he also did Super Mario Brothers and also the Garfield movie, both with sequels that are in the works. In a published story, The Story of Marvel Studios, the making of the MCU, he says he doesn't really believe that he was really fit to be Star-Lord. But I was like, wow, I really am Star-Lord. And he realizes I didn't see myself as that type of hero. And then I was like, even if I passed on the opportunity to audition for it a couple of times, but hey, the rest of that is history. So, history says otherwise, that Chris Pratt is Star Lord.